Epossumondas, written by Coleen, Salley, and illustrated by Janet Stevens. Epossumondas was his mama's and his auntie's sweet little patootie. They just loved him to death. Epossumondas used to go see his auntie most every day, and she nearly always gave him something to take home with him. One day, she gave him a piece of rich gold cake. Epossumondas took it in his hand, scrunched his hand up tight, and went along home. On his way home, he passed Alligator. An alligator asked, "What you got, Epossumondas?" "Cake," he replied. Don't look too much like cake to me," said Alligator. When Epossumondas got home, his mama looked at that fistful of crumbs and she said, "Epossumondas, what you have in your hand?" "Cake, Mama. Auntie gave it to me." "Oh, Epossumondas, you ain't got the sense you was born with. You ain't never had the sense you was born with. You ain't never gonna have the sense you was born with. There's no way to carry cake. The way to carry cake is to put the cake in on your head, put a hat on your head, and come along home. You hearing me, Epossumondas?" "Yes, Mama." By and by, on another day, when Epossumondas was visiting his auntie, this time she gave him a pound of freshly churned butter to take home with him. Epossumondas put it on his head, put his hat on his head, and went along home. On his way home, he passed Raccoon, and Raccoon asked, "What you got, Epossumondas?" "Butter," he replied. Don't look much like butter to me," said Raccoon. When Epossumondas got home, his mama looked at him and she said, "Epossumondas, what do you have in that hat?" "Butter, Mama. Auntie gave it to me." "Oh, Epossumondas, you ain't got the sense you was born with. You ain't never had the sense you was born with. You ain't never gonna have the sense you was born with. There's no way to carry butter. The way to carry butter is to wrap it up in some leaves and carry it down to the brook. And you cool it in the water, and cool it in the water, and cool it in the water. Then you take it up carefully in your hands and come along home. Do you hear me, Epossumondas?" "Yes, Mama." By and by, on another day, when Epossumondas was visiting his auntie, this time she gave him a sweet little puppy dog to take home with him. So Epossumondas wrapped it up in some leaves and carried it down to the brook, and he cooled it in the water, and cooled it in the water, and cooled it in the water. Then he took it up carefully in his hands and went along home. On his way home, he passed Nutria, and Nutria asked, "What you got, Epossumondas?" "A puppy," he replied. "Don't much look like no puppy to me," said Nutria. When Epossumondas got home, his mama looked at that poor little old bedraggled puppy and she said, "Epossumondas, what do you have in your hands?" "A puppy, Mama. Auntie gave it to me." "Oh, Epossumondas, Epossumondas, you ain't got the sense you was born with. You ain't never had the sense you was born with. You ain't never gonna have the sense you was born with. There's no way to carry a puppy. The way to carry a puppy is to put the puppy on the ground, tie a piece of string around that puppy dog's neck, and take that piece of string and come along home. You hear me, Epossumondas?" Well, by and by, on another day, when Epossumondas was visiting his auntie, this time she gave him a freshly baked loaf of bread to take home with him. Epossumondas put the bread on the ground, tied a piece of string around it, took the other end of the string, and went along home. On his way home, he passed Armadillo, and Armadillo asked, "What you got, Epossumondas?" "Bread," he replied. Don't much look like bread to me," said Armadillo. When Epossumondas got home, his mama looked at the thing on the end of that string and she said, "Epossumondas, what do you have on the end of that string?" "Bread, Mama. Auntie gave it to me." "Oh, Epossumondas, Epossumondas, you ain't got the sense you was born with. You ain't never had the sense you was born with. You ain't never gonna have the sense you was born with. Now, I'm not telling you any more ways of bringing truck home, and I don't want you going to see your auntie either. I'll go see her myself." And Epossumondas' mama got her basket. But before she left, she said, "Epossumondas, you see them 6 pies cooling on the porch?" "Yes, Mama." "Well, Epossumondas, you be careful how you be stepping in them pies." Then Mama went off to see Auntie. And Epossumondas was careful about stepping on those pies. He stepped right in the middle of every one.